Hello, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and friend of the channel David was emailing me about the issue of collateral estoppel, and how it can play into employment law and how it can be an issue in employment law. And we were chatting a little bit about it, and something that occurred to me that I think people tend to get a little confused about is the difference between res judicata and collateral estoppel, right? Um, and there's a number of differences. This is not going to be an exhaustive video, right? I am not going to give you all the finer points of res judicata versus collateral estoppel. But I did want to highlight one thing in the context of employment law that can be pretty meaningful here. Both of these terms, and we're not even going to really define them. We're going to give you generalities. Both these terms in employment law are often in play when you've already had an action tied to a series of events, right? So often you'll see. Let me give a hypothetical here. Maybe there's some events that played out in a workplace tied to a workplace discrimination claim of some kind, and some of the potential claims in play that could arise from that series of events are brought as claims in, let's call it like a state agency somewhere, right? But not all the claims. See here? So there's maybe, we'll call it 6 potential claims that could arise from these events, right? 6 claims of workplace discrimination and various other claims of other sorts. And so this person brings a case, maybe doesn't hire an attorney, and doesn't bring all of the potential claims. Ends up, there's some kind of decision on the case. Maybe the case gets dismissed, or something happens, and the person's very frustrated. So the person goes and files somewhere else, maybe like a federal district court or a state court. And the other side, the defendants here, might rightfully argue, hey, you already brought this action. And so we want to argue res judicata and collateral estoppel to say that you don't get another bite at the apple. You don't get to do this again. Well, here's how the two terms differ in this particular hypothetical. In res judicata, the argument is you don't get a second bite at the apple for the claims you brought or the claims you should have brought. Your incompetence is not our problem. We fought you off once, and you're the fool who didn't bring all the claims. I'm not calling anyone a fool. This is just a hypothetical. And that's on you. We don't have to fight this again. It cost us 40, 50, 80 grand to fight you off the first time. We shouldn't have to do it again. You lost. Get out of here. Now, with collateral estoppel, right, they're going to make that res judicata argument. They're also probably going to make, in their motion to dismiss, a collateral estoppel argument. But it's a little bit different, because you actually, for collateral estoppel to attach, and for them to make a collateral estoppel argument that you don't get that second bite at the apple, the second attempt to bring this claim, you actually have to have brought the claims. So their collateral estoppel argument is going to be potentially effective against all the claims that you brought the first time that you're bringing again, but potentially not effective, depending on the case law of your jurisdiction, of course, potentially not effective on the claims that you didn't file the first time. Now, that's a real gray area. That's a real gray area because, there's issues of it arising from the same events, and it's not so clear-cut. But if we're going to hyper-simplify things, that is one difference in how these two kind of rules function, and how they could be used to shield a defendant from a second round of litigation. I hope I did a good job explaining that. If I didn't, I trust you'll let me know in the comments below, and I will try again. If this was helpful, consider liking and subscribing. It does help me to help more people just like you. And David, thank you thank you for the questions. You give me the best ideas for content, and you're really helping out the channel. I really appreciate it. And if I shouldn't be calling you David, please let me know, and I will stop. I mean, obviously on channel, if I shouldn't be using your name, David. I wish everyone the best, and I hope everyone has a lovely week.